Everybody wants to be locked in on something, especially at the beginning of the year. You either want to be hella locked in on the gym, locked in on finishing school, or especially locked in on chasing that bag. No matter what it is, that shit is kinda hella hard to achieve. And since it is so hard to do, we're gonna talk about some characters that actually made it happen. Actually, I need to talk about one of my goats, Sasuke. Him versus Gaara, irrelevant to anything that happened after, was completely running that fight. Sasuke literally showed up with an agenda for this fight. It wasn't just to beat Gaara, it was to let every other Genin there know that he was the top dog. Like, him showing up late at that with Kakashi in the black fit was easily the most drip Sasuke had in part 1 and easily a top 3 Sasuke fit of all time. Like, the embarrassment for him of getting beat up by Rock Lee plus being hella hurt and handicapped from that bite that Orochimaru put on Sasuke. Sasuke knew after the somewhat mid performance he put on in that first fight that he would have to embarrass Gaara to make a statement. Like, that smirk he had after the foot twitch at the beginning of their fight literally tells you how the rest of this is gonna go. Start speed blitzing and dodging like he has the Sharingan out. I'm sorry, but this run was ridiculous right here, bro. Something approaches you like that looking that much like a blur, you'd be getting cooked like this too. Sucks for Sasuke because he didn't know he was going up against a tailed beast. I honestly still consider this a win for Sasuke because at this point he basically forced Gaara into submission to just sit there and go into recharge. He then proceeded to humble this fraud with a Chidori to the chest. That shit played out beautifully. One of the best introductions for a move I've ever seen. But if you ask me, he 100% proved his point. Easily one of the most locked in moments ever. Sasuke was hella calm in this fight and he proved his point and got the flex while doing so. If you like cars, you're gonna want to stick around. This type of car. I feel like all of us as a culture does not completely reflect on the movie Speed Racer enough as the masterpiece that it is. This is one of the best live action adaptations of all time. And this movie came out in April 2008. So we didn't have a bunch of different live actions by now like One Piece or the MCU that give the blueprint. This movie Speed Racer was straight cooking. It's a movie about this young racer named Speed and him and his entire family compete in the race car business. And Speed has a dead brother who is also a race car driver who may or may not be this racer he meets named Racer X. But all that aside, the cars and the whips and the races that they be having in this universe is different. Like genuine winding tracks and cars that explode with you in it if you get off course. And on the final race of this movie, our main character Speed hit a whole different level of locked in. And Speed was such a damn good racer throughout this movie. They were sending motherfuckers to cheat and add illegal odds onto their cars all to take Speed out and make sure he takes the L. Straight up assassin sent to Smoke Bro's entire family. No one really cared if they won, they just really wanted to make sure Speed was gonna lose and be stuck there. Speed's entire car was basically fried and he couldn't drive anymore. Bro went from being at the top to having everybody basically pass him up. The entire world is watching as Speed is about to lose for good, and he does the one thing that he knows how. He just listens to his car. We get this short moment of silence where if Speed activates the 5th gear in his car will activate and get him back into the race. His body and soul naturally guide him and he's able to kickstart his car getting back in the race. I dead ass felt like I was driving the car myself, bro. This shit felt raw. As Speed is literally in perfect sync with his car now, he begins driving at an all-time high, shattering course records, quite literally breaking ankles in car form and painting pictures, making art with his mock driving skill. Speed wasn't even driving at this point. He quite literally became the car. The flashbacks between him being a kid, imagining himself driving to him now in the final race was literally pure magic as Speed goes for the W. At this point in the race, he's basically a Beyblade, bro. I kid you not. He spins his car into the last two in front of him, drives on the side of the wall, flips into them, spins one enemy driver on the left side, spins one enemy driver on the right side, and literally flies through the explosion of them both and spins through as he lands across the finish line. I promise you, I am not glazing. There was no way bro was in manual control at this point to pull this off. This was purely ultra instinct but driving at this point. Mind you, bro was in last place. Easily one of the most locked in moments in all of history. I want to save this last spot for the machine, the man himself, Optimus Prime. From the second that he was born in Orion Pax, ceased to exist. He was a completely different person, going from a minor bot to literally the greatest bot of all time, from role player to LeBron James in seconds. Like, the matrix of leadership literally automatically gave Optimus the ability to fight at an extremely high level, possibly the highest. Like, once Optimus pulled out that axe, we definitely saw how the levels were just different now. The way he proceeds to solo every single Decepticon in this scene, like, it was genuinely embarrassing that no matter what he did, they could not actually touch him. And Megatron's last desperate attempt to take him out led to bro just losing his gun and getting embarrassed. From birth, this man was one of the strongest people to ever exist of his kind. The amount of locked in Optimus was from this point forward was just insane. We watched him learn how powerful he was in real time and just how raw the matrix of leadership made him from this point going forward. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, and Optimus Prime will definitely lock in and beat your ass to let you know that. What are your favorite locked in moments of all time? Definitely let me know down below. I might end up covering those next. But my name is Time Pizza, and I will see you pizza people on the other side of the slice. We move.